this case that have not been addressed. And unfortunately, it's so sickening and disturbing, this case, that the outcome of this recommendation is me dropping out. I don't wish to continue this anymore. My children have been failing educationally for years, and he's the one in charge of getting them to school, taking them to school. He's been charged with truancy charges. My son has dropped out of school. My children are depressed, on medication, and all absence of their mother. But yes, continue the same path for them. Everybody agreed that something different needed to be done, and choosing the same sickening and despair life for them is enough for me to decide that continue on.
An abused child is worth money into the system. Professionals make money. A child with a safe parent is worth nothing to them. Disgustingly true.
It should be public knowledge that family court is corrupt and hands kids to abusers all the time. I haven't talked to my girls in over 4 years because of corruption, but I still have a lot to be grateful for.
Mother filed for full custody, claiming I was unfit. Despite being a fit mother, the court ruled in favor of the father, granting him 66-34 split. I was denied the chance to present crucial evidence like the doctor's report on her anxiety. The judge, criticizing the earlier judge and the father's lack of evidence, still gave the father custody.
Takes mom's child and causes stress. Stress causes illnesses like depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and even cancer.
A lot of problems in the Harris County Family Court, including judges lying to me and denying me due process. And this is just one example. Some of y'all that have been following me have seen where I filed a criminal complaint.
In joint parenting, in co-parenting, when you get assigned in your parenting plan, you have to do joint, is how does a judge or a lawyer or all the parties above really think that you are going to do joint decision-making, talk to your ex, agree with your ex, interact with your ex, communicate with your ex, all the things, when they're your abuser? They're the person that abused you physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, sexually, I don't care. The judge and lawyers think that you are then going to be able to go to your abuser and get equal treatment.
Harassment, how the abusers always friggin' win. What about stalking through the courts? Is anybody else there with me? Because my case, it's been 8 years nonstop. This is my case. This is how many things have been filed into my case. It's over 1,000. I had my case analyzed by the best of the best of the best. And there is nobody that can shut it down. I'm on my 5th court. To be fair, two of the judges wouldn't touch my case. But I never thought I'd enter family court and I couldn't get away from this person.
And what I want to know out there is how many of you have been victim to this horrible phenomenon that is happening over and over again in our culture.
I am so over family court. It was supposed to be done within 25 days, and I think it took 62 to get a final hearing, or whatever they call it, with the commissioner over my filing for contempt and enforcement of parenting time. I haven't seen my 17-year-old. He was 16. Haven't seen him once since he turned 17.
You all know my story. 11 years ago, I was nearly killed and beaten in front of our 2 young children. My ex-husband was arrested, and there was an order of protection in place for my children and me. Regardless of the fact of this piece of paper that states you're supposed to stay away from all of the victims you just nearly assaulted or did assault, he then requested assigned a visitation. So my detectives in New York were scratching their heads saying, we work so hard to get these order of protections to protect you and your children, and has access of visitation rights, right? And fast forward in 2019, the same thing that happened to me happened to our child, our son. He was picked up and thrown across the room by the father because he didn't want to go to church. And you've heard this audio for yourself on my videos. It's sad. And imagine, as any parent, having to force your child to go to the person that just beat him or assaulted him. And it's documented by their therapists, which are just in disbelief of how corrupt this system is before their eyes, and them being advocates and not having any ability to help any of us. So now you force your child to go to the abusive parent for their visitation rights, right? And now your child is now being trauma bonded, and DARVO is now in place. Deny, you attack the victim, and you reverse the situation, and then the abusers now become the victims. And this is exactly what is going on, people. Now my child is my younger child is beyond thriving. In 8.5 years of my custody, my child was flourishing, had a great vocabulary, was articulate. It was perfect, people. Just me and my 2 children. It was a great world. And whenever my ex-husband felt the need to have his presence, then my children would go take 2 steps back. And this is exactly what these courts are doing in some deviant way. My younger child, and you've seen his school records, and I've posted it too. Now he's up to 316 days of school absences, and nothing is done to the father because he's a member of the New York State Bar and has this wolf in sheep's clothing act. And this is exactly what a sociopath does. He has this facade of, whoa, my child is not thriving. You have to blame the handler. If he was a good parent, then I would give him that credit. But he's absolutely using these children, our children, as pawns. And now my child is now on Prozac, is obese, is now pretty much special needs. It's absurd, and the courts are condoning, and there is no repercussions and no action taken for the guilty parties. There is no oversight by these judges and these magistrates and these attorney for children. Wake up, people. Like the fires in California, now all of a sudden these hypocrites care because, this cause, and it's happened, their house was burned down. You are going to care when your house is burned down and your life is destroyed in family courts. So wake up and show solidarity.